Hey everyone, how's it going? Erkenholm here. Today I'm back from PAX. Had a great time at PAX Prime. Actually met someone who has checked out the streams and the YouTube channel, so that was really cool. Uh, so if you went to PAX, I hope you guys had a good time. If you challenged the league, awesome. If you found the league there, even better. Uh, and if you didn't get a chance to challenge, once again, I had a great time, so definitely something to look forward to in the future if you are going to another PAX. Highly recommend it. So today's video is going to be from PAX. It's actually a video that I had against Challenger. So for those of you who don't know, I was the champion at PAX Prime this year, so everyone was working their way up to me. My character for this year was Triple H. Those of you who are familiar with professional wrestling will recognize that name. So we can see my team here. It's all based on professional wrestlers. And you'll see the nicknames as we go in. Everyone has a nickname of a specific person they're named after. Let's see if you can guess any of them and see how accurate you can be. Now, the team ended up being more of a hit or miss type team than I was hoping. I have, a few Pokemon that are the basic strategy is to kind of set up and take out a handful of Pokemon on their own. My Dragonite, as you've seen on this channel plenty of times, has the Dragon Dance. Superior, has the Leaf Storm with the Contrary. The typical Scolipede set, a Baton Pass with the Speed Boost, and I had a Swords Dance on there. And, Hawlucha is about getting that Unburden activated, and so being able to outspeed everything and just hit them with High Jump Kick or a Double Power Acrobatics or something like that. I tried to balance it out a little bit with the Arcanine and the Mandibuzz. For those of you who've watched the YouTube channel, my Arcanine is a physically defensive Arcanine. The Mandibuzz was a nice option for the team. Kind of came in late, hadn't really thought of it for a while. I finally made that connection to a professional wrestler, so it was good to use it. And it filled that special defensive role that my team was missing and I was having a little trouble finding. And it also gave me a defog option, which, when you run a Dragonite, is really important to get rid of Stealth Rocks. Because you don't want to switch your Dragonite into Stealth Rocks because it breaks multi-scale and it makes it a lot easier for your opponent to deal with. So, the Mandibuzz and the Arcanine did help the team, but like I said, a little bit more hit and miss than I wanted. Although in total I only got 13 battles in this last weekend, or I guess it's 2 weeks now. It's hard to remember. It feels like it's been a while and I need to go back already. But I did enjoy the team. I like the team. Wish I could have used it more, so it's maybe something that I'll be using again in the future. I may be using these Pokemon on other teams, just pick and choose. Have to see what happens. So this battle here is like I said, my first challenger. He reached me on day 2, kind of towards the end, I believe. So I was expecting maybe a couple more by that point, but he was the only one to reach me that second day, so I had to wait for the third day. I was really looking forward to battles. It was unfortunate I didn't get more, but the ones I did have were good. So we can look at his team. We see he has a Metagross, a Machamp, a Ferrothorn, a Talonflame, a Heatran, and a Landorus. Now, Heatran-Landorus combo was the main thing that I was worried about when we removed the limited list that we had, because those were both on there, so you couldn't have both on the same team until this Prime. Those were, if there were any 2 Pokemon that kind of needed to be on the limited list, it's these 2. So, you put them together, it's a pretty scary combination. I tend to have trouble dealing with Heatran in general. my Arcanine, I mean, not my Arcanine, my Dragonite has Earthquake, which can deal with Heatran really easily as long as it doesn't have a Balloon. Um, but often, Balloon is fairly common on it, and, if they protect the Heatran, so my Dragonite is gone or something, it's very hard for me to deal with. The Hawlucha had the high jump kick, which would really help with the Heatran as well. That's another option, but Heatran's still definitely something to watch out for, especially on my team, because I tend to have some trouble with it. Talonflame, obviously with the Gale Wings, priority on all its flying type moves usually can be a pain in the butt. Landorus often carries Stealth Rock, and it's got the Intimidate, which can be a factor. I do have a fair number of physical attackers on here, so that, if used correctly, that Intimidate could really shut me down. The Metagross I knew was going to be Mega because it's the only option, and he also replaced a Mega Salamence with it. He apparently was using a Mega Salamence against some leaders the second day. It is against the PPL rules, but as we always say, it's more guidelines up to the individual gym leaders, but as champion I was enforcing that, so I made him switch that out. And the Machamp has the ability, I believe it's called No Guard. I always forget that first part, but it's something guard. So every move he does hits, and he also gets hit by every move. So that's kind of a little bit risky because you're guaranteed to get hit. Can't go for a lucky dodge or anything. And the Ferrothorn there is always very bulky. Another option for Stealth Rock, which is important on my team. It's also really slow. So sometimes you see Gyro Ball. So when you have Pokemon that are increasing their speed, that Gyro Ball can be kind of scary. But let's hop into this battle and see how this goes. My first challenger is going to be this guy. So he starts with his Landorus. Not a huge surprise. It's a pretty good start. It gets the Intimidate off, and as I mentioned, potentially has Stealth Rocks. It's fairly common. So he sees my Scolipede, and so he goes for the Earthquake. No surprise there. I had the Focus Sash, so I knew I could take that. Turns out it only brought me down to 7 health, so I didn't need the Focus Sash. So I'm going to get the Swords Dance. That +1 speed from my Speed Boost ability is going to allow me to go first. Although I'm pretty sure at this point that it's Scarfed. That's going to allow me to Baton Pass out. Predicting another Earthquake to finish me off, I go into my Dragonite, which is going to be able to avoid the Earthquake, can't be hit by it. So my Dragonite comes in at +1 attack, +1 speed. Now, I didn't want to risk the Heatran coming in. I thought it was a possibility. I didn't want to risk him not switching out, so I went for the Dragon Claw instead of the Earthquake, because the Earthquake doesn't hit the Landorus. Because it could also potentially carry Rock Slide, which is super effective against Dragonite, although that would help me more than it would hurt me. So you see there, I get rid of the Heatran. So in comes his Landorus again, bring me back down to normal attack. But I'm still at full health, so I'm going to take the opportunity to go for a Dragon Dance. If he does hit me with a Rock Slide, I didn't have my weakness policy. He knocked off my weakness policy, but I had it when I was at full health. So again, another time where I didn't want to risk that he would stay in, and when I went for the Earthquake. So I went for the Dragon Claw. So he went for the good switch, expecting the Dragon Claw that's going to Iron Barb's Rocky Helmet, damage my Dragonite a lot. And allows him to get the Leech Seed here. As I mentioned, Ferrothorn is very bulky. I'm only at +1 attack. And the Earthquake is neutral. Just going to heal a little bit. So here I'm hoping that another Earthquake will finish him off. He does go for the switch though, back into the Landorus. It's a good switch. As I mentioned, the Intimidate can really shut down physical attackers. So that was a very good prediction on his side. Because he gets the free switch, he brings me back to normal attack. So here I was expecting the switch again. This time I went for the Earthquake, for whatever came in. Unfortunately, he didn't go for the switch this time, he went for the attack. And he does manage to hit that Rock Slide. So I'm going to bring in my Arcanine, which is a bit of an odd choice, but I know from experience that Arcanine can handle Landorus pretty easily. Unfortunately, I made a huge error, and I rebred this Arcanine. I finished breeding it the Friday morning, I believe, or the Thursday, the night before. And so I took one that didn't have Intimidate. I took one that had Flash Fire. I was going to Ability Capsule it, and I forgot to do that. So I came in, didn't get the Intimidate, so that is going to hurt me right there. Caused me to take more damage from the attack. That first time, I missed the Will-O-Wisp, which is going to hurt me again. And then the second time, he hit me with a Rock Slide, and I flinched. So that is the combination of those three things. My big mistake, the miss, and the flinch are really going to cost me. They're going to prevent me from hurting that Landorus as much as I could, and potentially taking it out. It's going to get rid of my Arcanine, which is my solid answer to Ferrothorn. It's going to take a lot of recoil damage, but still a pretty solid answer. And my Arcanine has very low health. So I went for the switch, so did he, and he obviously got the better end of it. As a Steel type, he resists my Dragon Pulse, which is my type coverage move, and as a Steel Grass, he resists my Grass type moves. So I went into my Hawlucha. So I activate my Unburden, which is going to double my speed, but the Talonflame has the priority on all of its flying type moves. So he's going to come in and he's going to crit. Hawlucha is not really very bulky, but depending on how the Talonflame is built, it's potentially could have taken that Brave Bird. I'm not really sure. Probably not, but the crit made sure that it got rid of my Hawlucha. So I bring in the Mandibuzz. This Mandibuzz is very bulky. And this one is built with special defense, but even without defense investment, it can take the physical attacks fairly well, depending on obviously the Pokemon and how it's built. So I wanted to Toxic that Talonflame. My answers to it were kind of gone. My Arcanine was on low health, which, he wouldn't be great, but he'd help with the Intimidate, and he'd be able to take Brave Birds pretty well. And my Dragonite was gone, which, if Multiscale is intact, even without Multiscale, it can take Brave Birds fairly well, and then, a nice Dragon Claw or two will finish it off. But he goes into Machamp, gets the Toxic off, as I mentioned, that no guard ability, so the Toxic was guaranteed to hit him. Also guarantees that this Dynamic Punch will hit me. It's going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to confuse me. Now, if I remember correctly, Dynamic Punch is a 50% accurate move, but if it hits, it's a 100% chance to confuse. So with the no guard ability, it's 100 accuracy, 100% chance to confuse every time. And you saw it did a lot of damage. So I'm going to go for the switch. He goes for the Bullet Punch. It isn't going to do a lot against Serperior. And I am going to outspeed, so I'm going to take the opportunity to activate my Contrary with this Leaf Storm and get up to +2 special attack. Now, unfortunately, he still has his Talonflame, so not a good situation for me. I'm gonna lose that +2 special attack, but I saved my Serperior. So here, at this point, I hadn't realized I didn't have Intimidate. I thought I had it, so I switched in the Arcanine to decrease the Talonflame's attack by stage, kind of slow it down, help out. If it came down to it, my Serperior could maybe, hopefully, take a Brave Bird. And, Mandibuzz probably had no hope of taking Brave Bird at the low health that it's at, even with the -1 attack. So Mandibuzz is down to the Talonflame. Alright, and so I'm going to send my Serperior. As I mentioned, doesn't stand much of a chance against the Talonflame. And so that's going to go down in one shot. Talonflame is going to take itself out. Would be great if I still had Pokemon left. Unfortunately, I do not. So that's going to be my first battle in the PAX Pokemon League as the champion. Fortunately for me, it's going to be a loss. You know, not having the Intimidate on my Arcanine was a big mistake. I could have possibly kept it around to help me deal with that Ferrothorn easier, and you know, the Intimidate could have hurt the Talonflame. I would have been at more health, so I would have been possibly able to take a Brave Bird or two, maybe switch it out, send it back in for -2 attack. Don't know how that could have gone. But the not having the Intimidate plus the Will-O-Miss, as it's called, and the flinch on that second turn, those three things really, you know, made my Arcanine kind of useless in this battle, where it could have potentially helped me. I was happy I got rid of the Heatran fairly easily. Well, pretty easily. He kind of sacked it off, which probably something that, you know, if I was him, I would have protected my Heatran a little more, because that would have been really good against my team. So it turned out he didn't need it. So there you have it, the first entrant into the PAX Prime 2015 Hall of Fame, this guy. So for those of you who haven't seen yet, the Hall of Fame has gone up on the PAX Pokemon League website, so if you want to see everyone who was entered and all their teams and everything, you can go check that out. Usual link in the description. It's the main post, so just go to the main page and you'll find it. Although I am planning to upload all of my battles to the YouTube channel in this champion showcase, as I'm going to be calling it. So if you want to avoid spoilers for the matchup, you know, maybe don't check that out and just wait for the videos. I'll be working on finding the best upload schedule coming up. Just wanted to get this one up there. So I'm back from PAX for a little over a week now, and settled back into the swing of things and everything. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the battle, and we'll see you all in the next video.